In this demo, we'll be looking at what an MCP is, and we'll use the PaintBrush application from our Mac OS to create an MCP server and have the LLM to communicate with that MCP server. So what is an MCP? The MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, and it was introduced by Anthropic. Now an LLM cannot perform any actions. All that an LLM can do is predict the next word given some text. But we want to create agents and we want it to perform actions in the real world. So what we can do is write an orchestrator which has the ability to do some actions, and then the orchestrator can share with the LLM what actions it has available. And the LLM is useful because it has natural language processing capabilities. So the LLM asks the orchestrator to do some actions, and the orchestrator performs these actions and shares the response with LLM. Then, based on that response, the LLM asks the orchestrator to perform the next action, and this is a series of it's like a back and forth between the LLM and the orchestrator. And MCP is the format in which the orchestrator and LLM share responses and actions with each other. And the interesting thing is that we all the LLM hasn't been trained on something known as MCP. We just provide the MCP format in the query that we send to the LLM. So that is part of its context. So we'll take a look at that. So first, let us see how to create an MCP server. So generally, an MCP server would be connected to any application or any action sets that we have, and the MCP server gives a good way to annotate the tools that we have, the tools that we are going to expose to our LLM. So you can see in this particular demo, we plan to provide our LLM with the following tools. There's like a string to char converter and a calculate exponential sum tool, and also we have connected uh, the paintbrush application to the MCP server, and it has the ability to draw rectangles or to write something in the paintbrush. And we send a prompt to the LLM using the orchestrator, and you can see the prompt over here where we explain the MCP format to it. In this, we tell it that you have certain tools at your disposal, and how you should ask the orchestrator to perform some actions. And in this particular demo, we'll be asking the LLM to find the ASCII values of characters in India, calculate the sum of exponentials of those values, and then draw a rectangle in paintbrush and display the result. And all these can be broken down into the tools that we are providing to the LLM using the orchestrator. And then we also need to parse what the LLM sent us back, and this is part of the orchestrator, and it is the orchestrator which will be performing these actions. And we'll take a look at this in the demo next. All right, so let us start our demo of the Paint MCP server and how our LLM interacts with it. So I'll run the talk to MCP Python file, and let's see what happens with the Paint application. As you can see, this is all being automated and it is opening a new canvas. Then, because it was part of our final goal, it is drawing a rectangle over here. So now it has selected the text input box and it is finally typing out the result of our calculation. in it. And we are using Pi Auto GUI and a combination of Apple script for this. And finally it has clicked on place and it has gone and placed that result inside the rectangle. And as you can see, Pi Auto GUI has also exited. With this, let us go and look at our LLM logs. So as you can see, this is the logs from our interaction with the LLM. We had given it a system prompt, and the system prompt was, you are a math agent solving problems and you have access to various tools. We gave the list of tools to it, which includes calculate exponential sum, draw rectangle, add text. So in the first iteration, we ask it the current query, which gives the problem to find the ASCII values of characters in India, calculate the sum of exponentials, and then draw a rectangle and display the result inside it. Then the LLM response is, it gives us a function call strings to char to int, and the input parameter is India. In iteration 2, we give an update of what we did in the current query, because we need to provide it the previous context always. So as you can see, we told it that the first part was executed and this was the result. Then the LLM responds by asking us to calculate the exponential sum. In iteration 3, we provide an update on that. Let's look at iteration 3 current query. See, we are giving it that the result was calculated. Then the LLM asks us to draw a rectangle. Then this goes into all the MCP part where we are using Apple script, and it's showing that drawing top line, drawing right line. All this is being done by the combination of Apple script and Pi Auto GUI. And in iteration 4, we give it the final update that we also drew the rectangle. And the LLM then asks us to add text. And this is where the MCP again takes over. And finally, it we can see the logs. It is selecting text tool, then moving to the text position, then typing the result, and finally moving to the place button, and moving to the center of the rectangle to place the text. So that's it for the demo. Thank you for watching.